How you doing today?
Bro, it is one of them days, dude. It's just beautiful. It's just funky. It is kicking it. And, we're here to talk hockey now.
Yep.
Or as one person would like to say, hockey.
Yep. So as far as the HSL season, one of the things that's stood out to me with how competitive these games are. They're really competitive hockey games, at least the ones you and I have called.
Well, so far from what I've seen and what we've had at least the last 3 or 4 weeks as we crossed the midway point of our 12-week regular season, those teams that have made the grade are making the grade. Those teams that you thought were going to be a little bit better than what their record suggests. That's why they are where they are. The big interesting thing is Detroit. The Ice Stalkers are the overall number one pick.
Yeah.
We've heard, they were going to do this, they were going to do that. And then the next thing we know, they dropped their first 5 in a row. Very ugly.
Yeah, to say the least. Power play was abysmal. Penalty kill was abysmal. Pretty much everything.
Yeah, you said a mouthful there. But the really odd thing about it is, with all the talent that they've had to concede that many goals in their first 5 games, you have to shake your head and say, okay, is there something strong with strategy? Is there something wrong with, I don't know, maybe
the way the lines are put together, maybe?
I was thinking along the same things. They've been able to put it together the last few weeks. As a matter of fact, if I'm looking at this correctly, they've now won 2 of their last 3 since crossing the midway line. So at least that's a little bit of improvement. But we got 4 games to go, and the playoffs are right around the corner.
Speaking of playoffs, we're still deciding the format, right? Whether we want best of 5 or best of 7 series or just one game or whatever.
Well, we're still hashing that out between the ownership and whatnot. So when we do come to a consensus, we'll definitely let everybody know in the Discord chat room. And please do join us in our Discord chat room. All you have to do is go to hockeysl.com and look for the chat link that sends you right to our room. Let us know you want to jump in. We'll bring you in and just have at it. It's going to be one of those times like, hey, let's do what we do best.
And I've shared the Discord link out to many people that I know. And if you've heard of the Relocation Football League, I've actually shared the link out in their server. So anybody that's interested in what we're doing here can just pop over to our chat room.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you this much as we continue here on the HSL podcast. One thing I'm starting to see very promising is the slow rise of the Charlottetown Squall.
Yeah, that seems to be something that's promising to me as well. Horvath is a heck of a goalie, practically standing on his head most nights, and I'm not even kidding when I say that.
Yeah, but you also have to look at some of the other key components of that club. One that I'm very, very impressed with is that of the play of Maribel Acton. I mean, she has been able to aggressively attack the net as of late, and has been in on a number of key goals in this little stretch that Charlottetown has had heading toward the top of the table. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at what the top of that table looks like coming into week number 9. I'm just surprised we're this deep already.
Yeah, I am too. It's gone by quick.
It is flying by. Like the moment you sit down, it's like woof, like huh? Which way did you
And
go?
we're only in our first season, so Imagine what it's going to be like when this league grows.
Yeah, it's going to grow, folks. Trust me, it's going to grow. It's more than a notion how when you see the talent that's in this league and how it's been able to hold its own, even with the twists and turns that we see from time to time. Especially now that you've got a clear top of the table heading into Week 9 with Charlottetown, Halifax, and Carolina. As a matter of fact, Charlottetown does lead the top of the table head-to-head against Carolina as virtue of their win this past week.
And I think only like 2 points separate the top three. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Literally. I mean, Charlottetown and Carolina with 10 points, with 5 wins. Halifax has 4 wins and an overtime loss. They're hanging tough. So we, like I said, we clearly have a top of the table. In Detroit, they're bringing up the rear, unfortunately. Well, actually, as of this past week, they should now be Detroit 2-6-0, Halifax 4-3-1. So it's still top of the table of Charlottetown, Carolina, and by 1 slim point, Halifax. Detroit trying to bring up the rear with just 4 points right now. They could conceivably get a 500 record if they put it all together in these last 4 weeks.
So, looking forward to the draft, as far as team needs, what do you think is each team's most glaring need? For Detroit, I think it's goaltending, honestly.
Well, goaltending and a better people around J.W. Doyle. I mean, Doyle can only do so much, but he needs some more help in the back. And right now, he's just not getting it. Just kind of looking at how things have just kind of panned out a little bit. Just going to look at the defensemen. And for Detroit, Doyle, he's only able to get maybe a shot on goal, if that. Doyle hasn't seen much act. Well, he has seen much action. It's just he's not been able to get past the blue line much because he calls himself a more offensive-minded defenseman. But he's been playing on his heels too much. That's how you concede almost 5 goals a game in your first 5 losses.
Yeah. And Detroit honestly needs to work on their, in my opinion, their neutral zone play and their defensive zone play, because they wouldn't be in this position if they focused on those 2 things.
Now, I'll tell you a couple of guys that I am impressed at on the blue line. Those are Jonah Raymaker and Robert Dragcock. They try to make creative ways to get the puck out of the zone, and more often than not, they do. If I'm looking at the analytics of that neck of the woods, they've been able to get the puck out of the zone upon first touch around 83% of the time, which is not bad. You're doing what you're supposed to do, and let's clear the zone. It's the times that they're unable to, where you see a streaking winger come across and snatch that pass just before it crosses the blue line completely. That's where you see a lot of the steal and score opportunities come at, especially wide open in the middle slot.
Yeah. And you never want to give the puck up there. It's breakaway city.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? As we continue in the HSL podcast, hit us up, especially over in the Discord room. Let's hear from you. Use the hashtag HSL Podcast wherever you see this.
Yeah.
We're at, and just holler at us. Now, let me move over back to the Charlottetown squad real quick, because I was trying to focus on them for a little bit. And Charlottetown strikes me as this championship team in waiting. They've got a lot of good pieces on this club. I mentioned Maribel Aju has been very, very aggressive as of late. She's averaged about 5 shots a game in the early going, and I don't see that statistic slowing up anytime soon just because of the aggressive way she played.
Question is, when does Charlottetown get the right mixture so they can win on a more consistent basis, considering you've got a goalie that's standing on his head right now, a defense that's pretty decent, and so on and so forth.
I wouldn't their team away. I think they're right there. I think Charlottesville is right there, or they wouldn't have made this push toward the top of the table like they've had so far, and be able to get that key win over Carolina last week on the road.
Yeah, that's impressive whenever you can take points away from a team on the road, especially with the way these teams protect home ice. It seems like. I mean, we saw Detroit win on home ice last week. I believe you and I called was it the Charlottetown game?
Yeah, Carolina. Carolina lost
last week.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah. We have definitely had some good games, and for some reason, the best ones seem to be the ones you and I call together.
That's what it looks like from time to time as we continue here on the HSL Podcast on the Hockey Simulation League. He is Alex Darr. I am Vince Brown, and we kicking it on a Sunday. The league will come back up on Tuesday, so make sure that you check us out at hockeysl.com and also in the Discord chat room to find out the next games coming up in the mix. That will definitely bring your hockey senses to the flavor. Let me go to the Halifax.
And make sure to share the feed out too, guys.
Oh, definitely share it. Share and share alike and share all around. Let me get to the Halifax Highlanders real quick. Because here's another team that's about right there. When you're talking about teams that are on the push. Granted, they are a point behind both Charlottetown and Carolina from the top of the table in third place. But there are some pieces on this club that I think are definitely worth one of those pieces, by the way, is for Jacob Coxey. This kid just continues to pepper the net every which way but loose. I believe he's done a goal or so in the last couple of games. Either that or an assist. He has been able to help manufacture some goals for Halifax and he's on the top of the table. Another one you want to look out for, another young lady, Haley Nicole. When she hits the ice off the second line, things happen. And they happen real quickly around her.
There always seems to be that one guy or that one person that gives the team a jump start, kind of like a Energizer bunny or a battery.
You're right about that. And now, if you're talking about somebody that needs to pick up the slack from somebody that left, we already know Richard Fisk from Charlottetown has retired from the league. So who's going to be the next man up? Would it be Michael O'Dowd?
That's going to be interesting.
Not looking bad with 3 assists so far, and maybe a few little more that we haven't counted as of late. Steve Vitak is making some noise. He's been able to bring a few helpers here and there. Clint Eastwood, the whole team's making you say right now, he's been able to lay out some nice forechecks to stop some would-be rushes. I like his defense a lot.
That's an underrated skill for a forward, a guy that can just get on the back check and hustle his butt.
All right. The Carolina Pirates. Now, here's a team that literally just right out the gate just showed everybody, look, I don't know what y'all heard over in the Midwest, but we here on Tobacco Road, we play hockey. And they ripped off their first 3 straight before getting knocked off, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think it was Charlottetown that knocked them off after they hit their first 3 in a row, and very convincing win. But don't sleep on this team, especially looking at the back line. Liam Caden, he's been scrapping it up a bit. Roman Pena, you can count on him for a few scraps. Ryan Davidson's been more of the offensive guy He's been averaging about an assist or two a game. One person I want to see do a little bit more, though, is Ashley Kearns. Kearns has been able to...
I'd agree with you. Kearns is not impressing me right now.
Kearns, I think, can do more because he's got good speed to him. I don't know if it's just tough luck being able to get into the net or just not being able to find his teammates down ice. But I think if Kearns can pick it up, Carolina can...
Or it could be not being physical enough, because I believe he's kind of on the small side.
I would say so, too. Christian McTavish? Hard luck kid.
Yeah, that guy can just get in the dirty areas and make something happen.
Plus, he's got a great hockey name in McTavish. I mean, how many times have you heard McTavish on the ice and be around something good?
True. Well, that's all the time I have for this. You mind signing us off?
Not a problem. Folks, you've been listening to the HSL Podcast right here on YouTube. Don't forget to join us at hockeysl.com. Also, when you get there, just click the chat link, brings us into the Discord. We're back at it on Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Over on Twitch TV, just look for Hockey SIM League. For Alex Darr, I'm Vince Brown. This is the HSL Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.